All right, episode 6 of Fear the Walking Dead has come and gone. I know this is a day late. I was sick yesterday. I'm still sick today, but I just couldn't let it go another day. I'm Justin. He's Matt.
Hello.
And he's JP.
I sure am.
And this is the Podcasting Dead. Subscribe for Walking Dead content amongst other content, but primarily Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead content. Little comic content. We're still going to do Oblivion song at some point, I promise. But
probably just lump it in with the next issue.
I wouldn't blame you.
But for right now, we're talking about Fear the Walking Dead, episode 6, and this was called Just in Case.
Yes, it was.
Oh, man, what a good episode. I'm going to say first and foremost, spoilers before we get into this. If John dies, I am... Every good thing I've said about this show, man.
You were very emotional. You texted me that exact same thing.
I just don't want them to go. I do like the fact that anyone can die, and I love Nick. And even though he's dead, you haven't heard me complain about it. I'm like, well, it sucks. He was like, I thought one of the most interesting characters on the show, but we'll see. You know, and it's playing okay with the story. We're still seeing him in flashbacks and stuff, but. We just got for them to just bring in John, for us to get really close to him and like him, and then to kill him off that quick. It's such a Scott Gimple thing to do.
Yeah,
and I hope they don't go that route. I think he'll live. But
he
I'm
had
just saying.
most badass moment, man. The opening part of this episode, man. That interrogation, interrogation.
I love it when he was like, "I'm faster than you on your board. I'm faster than you on my worst day."
Yeah,
or on my worst day, I'm faster than you.
Close
whatever.
Enough. It's pretty good.
It was so badass. So I mean, I just. You know, I know I could hear people saying, well, you bitch, because no, people don't die. I do want it to be like no one's safe, but we just got to know John Dorie. Give us a little bit more time with him before you rip him away.
How'd you feel about him handing his guns over to Morgan? It's kind of like Morgan's his sponsor, and he's handing his stash over to Morgan, who is himself,
Morgan's become like his Eastman, except for, John wasn't a psycho killer.
But you could kind of tell Morgan was a little uneasy just because, like I said, I mean, like, that's your NA sponsor, and you're handing him a bunch of dope, and, your sponsor's glad you're doing it, but at the same time, oh, man, I like to get high too, so who's to say Morgan might not?
And Morgan just twice now. Twice, Morgan's been proven right with his, which going and telling the vultures where they were going to be, that was a stupid move. But twice now he's told them to just leave it alone, and someone has gotten hurt or killed both times. I mean, we had, of course, Nick get shot. If he would have just left that guy alone, I don't think he would have been shot. And then, if Alicia wouldn't have reacted the way she did, I'm starting to think that Madison and Naomi left with the vultures, and that's what's going on.
That's who. I mean, I don't want us to get totally out of sequence, but that big surprise at the end, I thought that was Madison rolling up.
I did too. When you saw the feet get out of the truck first, I was like, oh, Madison's working for the vultures, to which I don't understand why they would be so. I feel like Madison would, I don't know, I keep expecting her to be dead, as angry as they are. They're angry as hell about something, so my question is, what exactly happened to get them this angry, which obviously we'll find out. But
isn't it weird that, like, just being with them, I mean, it's not just a bunch of hipsters. It's almost like that's their uniform, what she was wearing there at the end. It's like, well, you're going to be with us. You're going to be wearing some flannel breeches, We got your corduroy vest, I'm
sure that's what he said, too, breeches.
Yeah, well,
flannel breeches.
Yeah, I mean, we got your, your Chuck Taylors, and just, welcome aboard.
Your Chuck Taylors and your flannel breeches.
Yeah.
That's fashion.
That's the South. I mean, that's pretty much every other person in our area.
And a polo shirt or a t-shirt.
I say that, and I wear flannel and Chuck Taylors. So
as do I, but which, I mean, my pants are never flannel, though. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like like the plaid, like golf sort of pants. And
like Rodney Dangerfield and Caddyshack.
Yeah,
okay.
No, I live in plaid during the winter, but never my breeches.
I know my friend, and this is off topic, but I just got to throw it in. I know my friend like 2 years ago, right? Like, this is one of those guys, he does not, he doesn't care about clothes at all. Like, he just wears whatever he wears and move. Never been a big concern of his. So we were going to the beach, and he's on the phone with me, and he's like, "Man, you should be proud of me. I finally ordered some new clothes for the beach." I was like, "Awesome, man! It's about time. You've been wearing your camo shorts now for what, like 12 years?" And he's like,
good.
"Yeah, dude, I got me a couple of pair of plaid shorts." I'm like, man, those came in for like one summer back around 2007 and went out just as fast as they came in, bud. You're about a decade behind.
Above the knee or below the knee? What are we talking here?
Below the knee, most likely.
Yeah. Go above the knee and then get the socks that go just below the knee.
Yeah.
There you go. And the flip-flops. So you're
the total dad look.
Yeah, man. Then get yourself a metal detector and get out there and find yourself some buried treasure.
You got to get one of those like Panama Jack hats, and then you'd be on point.
A Panama Jack hat. That just sounds sounds like something.
Is it Panama Jack or Banana Jack?
I think it's Panama Jack. I think both of those are a thing.
Right.
But Panama Jack is the clothing.
You're thinking of Banana Republic.
Is that what I'm thinking?
That's what
Banana Jack Republic.
Oh boy, I want to live there.
Banana. I'm so lost now. Where are we at? All right, but so John Dorie, of course, is. I didn't realize I could watch these on demand, so I had been watching them on JP's laptop right before the podcast, and I was out sick yesterday, and I'm like, let me just see, because I know it's not on Netflix and all, and I bam, it's right there. I'm like, damn it, I could have been watching these the whole time, as they happened or whatever, but I saw the description for the next one, which doesn't come back until like weekend after next, where it said that John Dorie's life hangs in the balance, and I'm like, no, his life better be in a positive part of the balance.
Be careful though, because usually on shows like this, when they're all of a sudden they're in much better stable condition, and then all of a sudden something happened.
He'll start recovering, and then he gets shot in the head.
Interior bleeding. Okay, yeah.
Or internal bleeding.
Yours though. That's a little lead poisoning. Okay. No. I don't think we can save him. He was shot in the head. I mean, I'll try.
His brains are literally 10 feet away from his body, but if
Nurse,
you
insist, could you pick that up for me, please?
Pull the what was it?
Can we get a rag in here?
Jacqueline, John F. Kennedy's wife, where she like grabs the chunk of brain matter off the trunk. Have you seen that? Where like she climbs to the back of the car.
What?
Yeah, like
that
after
footage
you get shot.
exists?
Yeah. Well, damn, my voice got high. I'm sick.
Well, no, it gets exciting.
Yeah. But yeah, when he gets shot in the head, it's like a video, and maybe she was grabbing her cell phone or something. Who knows? But she was.
That's probably what it was.
She reaches in to the trunk, and a lot of people were like, she's picking up parts of his skull. But anyway,
I thought she was calling for the security guards that were behind.
She might have stop. Ooh, brain.
And then she was like, "Oh yeah,
he might need
brain.
this.
Put it back in. Just put it right back. Just place it.
You're gonna be okay, John.
That'll grow back."
I just think of The Office where Michael Scott's like, I've learned there are 3 things you can't joke about: AIDS, John F. Kennedy, and the Holocaust.
Man, do you remember those simple days when those were the only 3 things you couldn't joke about?
Right.
And now it's
everything.
Everything.
But what did you think of? I know you said for you, we all know your feelings toward Victor Strand. You said for you, Victor Strand stole this episode, like just stood out
like
to
a
you.
thief in the night.
But as much as you love him, do you think it's possible that he stands out on every episode?
I was going to say he steals every episode, but I really like I was on the fence on how I was going to like the flashback this episode, because Naomi, Laura, whatever you want to call her, she's sort of like Holly Flax for me. Like, there can be times
another Office reference. Here we go. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know about you guys, but Holly could be very annoying at times, but she did sort of win me over towards the end.
Which is why she was perfect for Michael.
She's a nerd, but it's
but just her character, man. Sometimes she would be very, very irritating to me, anyway.
Right.
And Naomi's kind of the same way,
I get what you're saying.
But she ended up with a really, really cool story. She
did.
I
was wondering how they were going to play that, and I was very happy with the way it turned out. I mean, what a unique kind of twist on that. I mean, you think, okay, well, she probably, she did something bad, but the way they wrote it, I thought was pretty creative. Just the fact of her daughter being sick, and she left her to go get medicine and locked the door, she thought, but come back and her daughter had died and basically taken out the whole place, and it was a really cool story.
Yeah, at least that's what she's assuming, because, I mean,
someone will be like, that's not creative at all, but for me, I didn't see that coming.
Make it a world go round.
I mean, she comes back and everybody's dead.
Right.
So, I mean, that would be the logical assumption. But, I mean, one little Walker girl, like...
Well, we saw how it started in the prison, though. I mean, it was just that boy that died in the shower, the guy that voices the character on Phineas and Ferb.
So why is it... Have they ever described why is it that some people react quicker to a zombie bite than others?
They say it just depends patient to patient, body build, like what kind of health you're in, things like that. Like, I imagine a child probably turns faster just because their immune system isn't quite.
Like Carl? See, that's what I wonder. Why is it Carl can last for like however long he lasts?
That's true, like an entire day.
But somebody can get bit and then 5 seconds later, oh God, they turned.
Which to this credit, though, she did say she was gone for 3 days. So
it's probably long enough.
But this girl had pneumonia or something and came back and killed everyone. I like the parallels, though, that Strand was drawing. Like, he was basically fussing at her for all of the wrongs he had done or everything wrong with him. I thought that was really cool, kind of crappy of Strand. I mean, like but at the same time, it was really cool to see him kind of have to face someone who's doing the same thing to him. And now we see Madison's following suit and tells Alicia to get a truck ready just in case. She kind of sees the necessity in Strand's evasive strategy, backup plan. I don't know where I'm going. I'm sick.
No, those were good words.
Evasive strategy. Yeah, I like it. And it was good, man. That just,
I'm sick, so forgive me.
For the first time in forever, man, the zombies carried like a real, like emotional. What do you want to call it, like a toll? Or,
right? Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen someone really be like. I mean, she was seeing all her friends and just like dead,
and knowing she was pretty much responsible for it.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't mowing through skulls and stuff. She was just
And this, I feel like this season has given me more tense zombie moments than I've had in a while on either show.
Saying,
when she's going across that line, I'm just like, oh God. Spencer's didn't make me this tense, I don't think. When he tried to in Alexandria, and I'm just like, oh my God. And then luckily she made it, but they've had some very tense zombie moments in this show.
But I can't take credit for this theory. I was reading online, someone sort of speculating that maybe she infiltrated that FEMA camp for the vultures. She was working for them even back then. This whole thing with her daughter is just kind of like bullshit, basically.
Really?
And that she helped them take that settlement down. Like I said, that's not credit to me, but I did read someone's, throwing that theory out there that she's been with the vultures since Jump Street. And that was just like she infiltrated that camp and helped take them down from inside.
I'm still really anxious to see how it's going to play out as far as what happened at the Diamond, because when they rolled up with all those supplies, the vultures were just like, okay, well, they're not dying anytime soon, and rolled out. So I'm anxious to know, like, what happened? What has gotten us to this point where they're just ready to kill each other?
I know we had some commenter, I can't remember who, but saying, they're collecting zombies for some reason. I mean, that'd be, if you want to wipe out the populace but maintain the resources, zombies would be a good way to do it.
That's very true.
Especially in a nice enclosed area like that, just back a big old truck up, let them loose. And
zombies won't eat your canned ham. Canned ham,
not.
right?
Not going to steal guns, not going to leave stains in your shorts, your clean linens. I don't really know. But.
Is there a difference between Spam and canned ham?
I don't know, to be honest. It's a good point. I love Spam, though.
The last time we've seen the canned ham in The Walking Dead was when they were trying to fish that zombie out of the well on Herschel's farm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Good observation.
And some folks really like bottle episodes,
If it's done right, yeah, absolutely.
Which this one wasn't as much of a bottle episode, right? Because we didn't actually see the backstory. She just told us the backstory. Last week's was definitely a bottle, right?
Yeah.
Like a straight up flashback. This was kind of still bouncing back and forth. Some people not as happy with the time jumping. It doesn't bother me as much. Like Westworld, sometimes the time jumping, I have to stop and think, okay, wait a minute, where are we now?
Yeah, that's the game they're playing on Westworld. They don't. Sometimes they don't want you to know where you are.
Season 1, we're looking at you.
Yeah,
how are
exactly.
you feeling about this? I've heard from critics that I haven't heard. I've read from critics. I know all of these critics. They tell me.
No, we talked about it over brunch.
That the season is good, but it's not as. I don't know. There's not
lacks
much
the
hype
magic.
around. Yeah, I guess from the first, it's different from the first season.
Hell with that. I think it's up the ante.
I'm
I'm loving it. Yeah,
right.
I'm not gonna stand for that.
I think that I could definitely see, and it might just the whole magic of the first season might just be because it was new. It was something different. You know what I mean? I don't know how I would feel about this if I hadn't. If it wasn't the second season. But I like it. I think I've only had one episode that I told you I thought was a little slower that I didn't dislike, but I was like, this past week's was kind of
I don't think it's fell off
but
at all.
It's been a good show. I definitely highly recommend Westworld. If you want something different and that definitely gets you thinking, that's probably why we're not going to podcast about it.
I was going to say, I wish I was intelligent enough of a critic.
I think you are. I think you just have to watch it 2 or 3 times to give like a good thorough analysis of the episode because it's all about questioning your reality. These robots program. There's so many big philosophical questions you can apply to that show. But anyways, I read these books. I really like them. Like I've got like the philosophy of behind Lost. Like they'll take different scenarios and give you like philosophical analysis, like how this philosopher thinks it should have went, or how yada yada yada. And I've got one for Breaking Bad. I really hope they do one for Westworld because man, that would be some great discussion. But I'm trying to think on this that we still don't know where the hell Madison is.
Don't know where she is. Don't know what happened at the Diamond, but obviously something's getting ready to pop off, and Madison wants to be ready for it. She got her little escape capsule ready.
Yep.
With the mid-season finale coming up in 3 episodes, do you think that's a reveal that they're going to wait for that?
I don't know, man, because the way I don't know. I want to say yes, just because it's kind of cliche to do, like, to finally reveal that on the mid-season finale, but Fear the Walking Dead doesn't always do things as cliche, I guess, as the Walking Dead. If that's what, but yeah. So I don't know. I've enjoyed it a lot so far, though. It's been a really. I I don't really think there's been any episodes this season that I can say I didn't like. Even on The Walking Dead, I'll have some where I'm like, I just won't feel in last night's episode. Too slow, too whatever. I've thoroughly enjoyed this whole season.
Yeah, same here. And something horrendous definitely went down because, I mean, when Alicia and Strand and all them they're basically ambushing the vultures. I mean, that's their one advantage. They got a lot of weaponry, and they got the element of surprise. And even after they lose that element of surprise, they're not just like running off. They're standing their ground. They're ready to just,
ready to fight to the death.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they know they're going down, but they're going to take as many as they can with them. So, and for Strand to not care whether he lives or dies, I mean, something happened.
Something big happened too for Alicia to immediately take a shot at Naomi.
Yeah,
I mean, didn't even hesitate, just shot her.
Naomi
tried to shoot her.
Betrayed Madison pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm really anxious to see how this is going to go. I like Alicia, man. She's a hard ass. Like when he's like, "I'm sorry to hear about your brother," she's like, "I'm not sorry about yours."
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. That was hurtful.
Oh, yeah,
it was.
It's like Alicia.
But yeah, John was just so happy to see his Laura
just ruined by a bullet.
Ruined by a bullet.
I really hope that there's nothing more to him. Like, I really hope we don't find out he's some which I don't mind so much as he's a crooked cop. I just hope we don't find out like he's some serial killer psycho.
Yeah. Let's see. What could he be?
I think a crooked cop is most likely. Like maybe he got caught in a deal gone bad, and he really shot the kid at the grocery store more or less to like keep him quiet. Right. But that's not. I feel like, but that's not him. Like he did it, but because he can't live with it, so that's why he kind of put himself in exile, went all Yoda, and just lived out in the middle of nowhere.
I wish he had just been like, Laura, what the hell are you wearing?
Laura, you never told me your name was Naomi.
Yeah.
I love, man, Garrett Dillahunt's so freaking awesome. Like I back in when we were talking about who was going to be Negan, I was so excited at the chance of him being either Negan or Dwight when he was auditioning for the show, and so let down when he didn't get anything. So and then I remember seeing the previews for this season of Fear and seeing a gunslinger and not realizing that was him. And then when I was looking at the cast and it said Garrett Dillahunt, oh man, I got so excited. I love this guy.
That's got to be a testament to him as an actor and as a person.
Right.
Is that they're like, well, we found somebody else who will want to portray this role, but I think we have a good role for you on the other show.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
well, and
90% of who you know.
And that speaks volumes about him as a likable actor as well, because he's a lot, for me, like Sarah Paulson is on American Horror Story. Like, I'll watch anything she's in just because I think she's such a great actress. Even if it doesn't look like it's that interesting, I'll watch it because I like her so much, which somebody was saying, that they really should cast her as Alpha in Fear the Walking Dead. Dude, she would be perfect for that role. Like, now I'm going to be disappointed if it's anybody but her.
She'd do good with it, that's for sure.
I mean, she's such a great actress. But yeah, every once in a while you find those actors or actresses that you enjoy so much that you will just watch anything they're in, which speaks volume, I guess, about their acting. Like Garrett Dillahunt, man. I mean, I'll watch anything. He's so versatile. He can be funny. He can be lovable. He's got a movie coming out with Chris Hemsworth where he's a bad guy. Like they have a cabin in the woods. And
hadn't seen that.
I think it's Chris Hemsworth.
Cabin in the Woods?
No, but that also had Chris Hemsworth in it. Mm-hmm. But it's like their cabin, and apparently these people are like using it to store drugs or weapons or something. I only saw the preview once, but it's got Garrett Dillahunt, and he's a bad guy in it. And it's like he's such a versatile actor. So just love this guy. Not quite as in love with him as you are, Strand. But as far as admiring his acting ability and him as an actor, deep. I'm a big fan.
Yes, it does.
I'm trying to think anything else to really cover from this episode.
John Dorie's life hangs in the balance.
It's still good to see Nick in the flashbacks.
Dirty vulture.
Yeah, maybe, dude. Man, but I don't know. I don't know what I feel about Naomi being. I feel like she just jumped ship and went with the vultures, and it led to them thinking I think they think Madison's dead.
Right.
But maybe she felt bad for the vultures, so she went with them to help them, and then they think, because you notice the vultures seem a lot more nonchalant about it. Mm-hmm. Like when Nick rolled up on Homeboy, he wasn't like, oh God, this guy is going to kill me. I think he just like, oh, this guy doesn't like me, and he's not really paying much attention to him. And then Nick, fights him and kills him. It's almost like maybe she and Naomi, or maybe Naomi went with the vultures and Madison decided to go with her to help them. And now they're thinking that Madison's dead, and that's why they're so out for blood. And the vultures, are kind of like, well, it's not our fault.
Yeah, or I mean, maybe Madison traded herself to get Nick and Strand and Alicia and all of them out of the diamond. Maybe it was like her life for theirs, that kind of thing.
Maybe. I don't know, but that's
a lot of questions.
A good story, man. It leaves you guessing. Lots of questions. Great discussion to be had from this season. I'm loving it. Super, super happy with it. And I think that's the majority to discuss, right?
I think we covered most of the bases. I think.
Awesome. Well, put your hand under the table, but keep it to your side this time.
Okay.
I'm putting it up here for everyone to see.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. You gave last week's 5. I gave it 4.5. I'm giving this one 5 just because I haven't given anything a 5-star rating yet. And while this wasn't a standout episode per se, I very much enjoyed it just for the fact to be this far into the season, and not for me to have not gotten bored once yet. I feel like something deserves a 5.
Yeah, man. About a third of the way through, I was thinking this is definitely a 3 episode. But then once Naomi actually got to the FEMA camp, and, we learned everything that went on, and then as it progressed, I was like, yeah, this is better than I was thinking.
Yeah, that 5 might be a little excessive. I know, but I felt like giving one of them a 5. I probably should have gave last week's a 5 solely based on that. I gave it a 4.5, but based on the fact that it's the first flashback episode, I wasn't bored out of my mind.
It was a really emotional one, man.
It's tough to give something a 5 in the moment because when that's like your top one. You're like, what if next week's better than this week?
Right? Yeah, next week will be the one to blow my mind, and I'll be like, I don't want to be a 5 whore.
5 plus or something. Don't be a 5 whore.
Like 5.5.
Yeah, don't be a 5.
And Matt, you gave it a 5.
Well, because I agree with you guys.
Even though he's not seen it, Matt's
I give a 5 on the comp. First of all, I give a 5 on that banner, our new banner. I imagine you talked about it last week.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yep.
Amazing.
Yep, we had a very awesome listener make us a new banner. If you go to our page, you'll see it. It's so legit. We feel official yet.
Lecky?
Yeah.
Lecky. Right? Lecky? L-E-C-K-I-E?
Lecky, I think.
Lecky. We're lucky to have Lecky.
Yes.
There you go.
That is a tongue twister. We're lucky to have Lecky. Mm-hmm. But we're very appreciative, and for all of our listeners, and especially those that make us stuff.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's always nice. That's very nice.
But so, we will see you back here. If nothing else, any comics coming out this week that we're going to review?
Not to my knowledge. I know we've missed a couple we'd hit on, like the Avengers.
We need to
pick
do
up on that next week
Season
as well.
finale of The Flash is tonight.
Oh, man. I can't wait to catch up.
I can't wait till it comes to Netflix so I can catch up.
Anytime, I'll give you my CW TV login information. Just let me know.
Yeah, we need to do that.
It's really been an up and down season. It started off strong, has just went downhill.
Yeah, by the mid-season finale, man, it was like, I was loving it. Mm-hmm. And then I just kind of fell off with my work schedule. So
a lot of stuff, I don't want to say anything if people haven't watched it, but there's just a lot of stuff that's been inconsistent, and there's certain CW stuff that they put in there.
Nah.
I think I've told you before, I don't mind if there's some character that comes all of a sudden and they're gender neutral and fluid sexuality.
Right.
But if it's organic to the story, but don't put it in there just to pander.
Right. Don't
to
force
an
it.
audience.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Because that's just.
And that's what they're kind of doing.
Yeah. Well, on that level, that's happened before on other shows, and because I don't want to say stuff that's happened on the show and then give away any kind of thing, So, but it's on the equivalent of they're just pandering to a younger audience sometimes, and sometimes it seems like older people are writing stuff for younger people, but the older people are very out of touch.
It's like younger
dad
people
jokes, like to watch.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's just but I still love the show and I watch it, but it's gotten to where it's begrudgingly kind of thing. We'll see what happens tonight. I'm kind of
at least in the comics, you have Flash Wars coming up.
Actually, I believe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Starts tomorrow.
Is that? Yeah.
I still haven't read the last week's or whatever.
Last week's was pretty good.
Wally West is back and his memories are coming together.
Yeah, he gets all of them back. Yeah, he's got kind of goes along with BioShock, which I was playing, all those memories coming in. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this week. I'm Justin.
Hey, I'm Matt.
Oh, JP.
And we'll catch you next week.
Close. I thought you forgot.
Or sometime between now and then. Hit that like and subscribe button.